Welcome to ASMR with Philly.
Yeah, I'm rolling. So
Great.
Oh, right.
Really?
Do the whole
I don't know. What are we going to do? I was going to tell you about my Airbnb being a porn
porno
studio.
Airbnb.
Yes,
Yeah,
because now
so
we've established this place is not a porn
We've
studio.
established
Yeah.
that this is not a
I mean,
porn
it could
studio.
be if it
no.
wanted to be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. So last year we stayed in this gorgeous, like, three-story, what looked like an office front.
Yeah, up in Sydney.
Up in Sydney for Miss Pole Dance Australia, office front, and inside it had like the blinds and everything. I was like, is this an accounting firm? Hello. Downstairs was the kitchen.
Special kind of accounting.
Kitchen, and there was just like a bookshelf with weird books in it. And then the next floor had the tiniest bathroom known to mankind, like tiny, and then a whole corridor with like shells and like just nice things in weird spots. So I was like, you could stand here for a bit. And then the top floor had this massive bed with like pretty mosquito net hanging from it and everything. We're like, oh yeah, people have shot porn here. We went back into the Airbnb listing and it's like, can be used for photo shoots and video shoots.
Oh my God, I love that.
So we're absolutely staying there again this year.
Yeah, they've got to be out there. I think that's a great little moneymaker.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Aesthetic hallways that
Yeah.
you can stand against and pump
If
on.
we were more prepared, we would have done a photo shoot. But we
Yes, I
weren't.
love that.
If you haven't guessed, this is a bonus bit.
it.
We weren't done
Yeah,
yapping
we
with
weren't done. We have more
Philly,
to say.
so you get a bonus episode.
Thanks, guys.
We love it. I saw you last year at Miss Pole Dance Australia.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know you were going to be there. I was like, oh, hey, what you doing here? But I think that's because you had so many students competing and everything. You went and watched.
I
and
did. I
Yeah.
have a story about that. So I don't remember seeing you. I'm going to be real honest because I can't remember much of that night.
Is this one of those nights?
It's one of those nights. Well, you know what? No, it's actually the tame version. But yes, that would have
Okay.
been my one day last year that I just got on it, and it was completely accidental.
Oh, okay.
okay.
I'm not dissociating getting shit done.
No.
It's like
No, the other part.
just
of
blacking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So that aligned well with my identity crisis where I was like, I'm not competing Miss Pole, like I'm not going to do anything, I'm not judging Miss Pole, I'm not oh my God, like I'm not associated with like working at Miss Pole and like I worked at Icon last year and I was like, I reached out to Ness and she was like, actually, like we don't have you judging this year. I hope that's okay. And I was like, of course it's okay. I was just asking because someone was asking whether we were going. It's fine. Don't worry about it. No. And then she goes, oh look, talk to Shelley and see whether she wants you in the opener.
Yeah.
And so I reached out and she was like, oh look, yeah, we could do with you in the opener. I was like, you know what? How about this is the year I don't work at all. Like, how about this is the year that I don't judge. I'm not on stage. I'm not in the opener. Like, I go. I had never been to Miss Pole Australia. Like, never been. I'd never walked in the front doors. I'd never gotten a ticket. I'd never.
You said that actually
seen
to
the
me. You're like, I bought a
stalls.
ticket to this.
Oh no, I do. I saw you in the lobby and we took a photo with his cutout.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank God. I was like,
You remember
come on, Phil,
something.
that's terrible. And so I was really excited. And then I did that really like dumbass thing where I was like, I don't know how to buy a ticket. So I messaged Ness and I was like, how do I get a ticket? Like, where do I sit? And she was like, do you want a VIP table? And I was like, I want a VIP table. Yeah, I do. So I was like, fuck it, yep, I'll have one of them. And then I just bullied some other people into coming with me, which is fantastic. So it was great. I had a great time, but I was like, look, I know they're not going to serve like the whiskey I like to drink, and I don't like drinking anything else. I don't drink cocktails. I had one last night. Terrible idea. Blah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't like. Blah. And so I was like, you know what, Tan? Let's go into the city. I'll buy a nice bottle that I like. Then we'll go to Big W, and I'll put it in a drink bottle. Does anyone know if they check, like, your bags
Flasks
when you
and
walk
stuff.
in?
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, it's never happened. I was like, there's no table service at VIP, so no one's going to know. So, all right, cool, yeah. Put it under my jacket, walked straight in, and then I was like, oh, I'll go to the bar and I'll buy tea a drink so I can get a cup. So I bought her a drink, and I sat with my cup, and I was just free pouring, topping myself up all night. I'm going to get so much judgment for this. I do not present my best self when I'm with you guys.
I just love that
realised.
you're just like, here's
Oh, no,
how
are
I
we
violated
enablers?
liquor licensing laws.
New South Wales, they're tight, man. Whatever.
They are.
Anyway,
Yeah.
come at me. I'm poor.
Next time you cross the border to go to the end mall, they'll
Be
be
like,
like, well, that's it. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I had like a 600ml drink bottle, right? And I'd probably filled it up about 600ml, right? Left the rest of the bottle at home, no big deal, it's fine. And then, just Dad was watching me get to the last couple of people because I was filming so many people. And I was like this. I watched the video back of Red, bless her soul, because I was so fucking excited for a show. And I'm like this, woo! Yeah, okay, so I can't fully remember the last show. I had to go back on the live stream and watch it. I don't remember leaving, and I don't remember getting home. And then I remember having a shower that night in our beautiful hotel room, throwing up in the shower. And then, because it was a really nice hotel that we stayed at to treat ourselves.
You stayed at the W.
We stayed at the W.
How do I know that?
Without an actual, there's not a drain anymore in nice hotels.
That's
There's
great.
tiny little slits. So I was
Can
there
relate.
pushing chunks down. And that's my memory. I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to tell Luke that I'm still alive. And it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, pinged, looked at my phone, and he's like, my love, where are you? And I was like, sorry, just got really drunk and I'm really sorry. I'm fine, absolutely fine, sorry. Lay in bed and I was like, oh, I'm actually not hungover. This is outrageous. Whiskey would never do that to me. If you drink the same drink all night, and whiskey is one of those things for me, I find that it doesn't make me hungover. I don't drink it so much that I get that drunk all the time. Let that be known.
No.
But it actually, I never get hungover from it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it's pure. And there's no colouring in the ones that I drink and all that sort of stuff. So, just trying to make myself sound like an athlete still, just a little bit redeem myself because your face is judgy. But the next day on social media, I woke up and I was like, Tanya, are you mad at me? Because we were sharing a bed. And she was like, no, I'm not mad at you. Why would I be mad at you? And I was like, because I can't remember anything from last night.
Oh, yeah.
She's like,
yeah.
no, you were just really, floppy. You were very smiley and very floppy. And then all these pictures of I met Miss Philly last night on social media came up and I'm like this. Next to them all. And I've got these vague flashes of because Tam was I really wanted to leave, but you kept on talking to people. And I remember talking to Katie Eve and cuddling Red and I remember me being I'm just really drunk. I'm so sorry, guys. And that was it. I remember seeing people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how, I don't remember getting home. But yeah, did spew in the shower. Didn't have a hangover the next day, which is amazing. And Dan was like, we're going to do a little podcast thing. And I was like, fantastic, let's go for it. But I was absolutely fine. I was actually fine. I was stoked. But then Alicia, bless her, who works at the studio, she had been working for me for approximately 1 month, maybe. And she sends me a message in the morning going, hey, hope you had fun last night. What's your love language? And I was like, why do you ask? Have I assaulted one of my staff already? Oh my God, this is terrible. And she was like, no, you just get really touchy when you're drunk. Love you. And I was like, oh God. It was fine. I was just cuddly. But I was the biggest shock. I was like, that's it. I'm over. Done. Career. Put me in jail.
That anxiety where it's
Oh my goodness. Yes.
I might have had fun,
What
but
a
I think everyone
ride.
hates me.
But it was fine. I had a really great night. It was fantastic. But yeah, I just need to you don't know, you're sitting down all night.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
you got the little chocolates on the table at the VIP tables because we were sitting kind of next to each other.
Yes.
The tables were kind of matching. So
Yes, we were. I know. I remember all that.
do you remember that?
Of course.
So you just got really involved. I didn't know that you were wasted. I had no idea.
Yeah. I just get
No
really
idea.
involved
You
with
get it really-
everything.
They only had
Yeah.
all 3 showstops when you got on stage, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Shut up. Did you see the G-strings I was throwing on stage?
Yes.
That was my favourite.
Iconic.
I went and bought a whole lot of cheap G-strings to throw for my girls when they come and take a bow because I was
Oh,
front row.
I'm at the end, right?
Yeah, no, midway.
Someone's performing
The G-string on their
Unchained
face.
Melody or something.
It's just a G-string.
I couldn't even throw it that far. It was such a joke. It was very upsetting.
Well, they
But
were
anyway,
cheap though, right? They
Yeah,
were
they
just
were.
cheapies.
The elasticity, just not there.
You had a real big arm going.
Well, I felt really, upset and insecure about my arms then because I was like, come on, these cannons can do something. It was really upsetting and everyone was laughing at me. They're like, anyway, one of my girls has the G-string I threw at her on her sashie wall.
Oh,
So,
that's gorgeous.
you know, it's important.
It is important.
Yep.
It is important.
Anyway, so that's my baseball story. You can
I-
edit that out if you need to.
Absolutely
There's no regret
not.
saying all that out loud. but
No.
lol.
No.
Waffle
That
story.
We're
was
actually live
great.
streaming right now.
Yeah, we forgot to tell you.
It's already out.
So were you
Fuck.
just drinking it straight?
Yeah.
That's all she does.
Yeah. Because I don't like
Scotch
mixes
girl.
because of the sugars and stuff.
You should
And
read
the
the
bubbles.
book.
Don't like it.
It's in the book.
It's in the book.
It's in the book.
What's the book called?
I think I learnt a lot about you through that book. Maybe that's where
Was
it's
I
all
drinking
coming.
whiskey in that book?
Yeah.
I think I was drinking
You started
spiced
rum.
rum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
wow,
started
God,
with
she knows
yeah,
that. And then I
spiced rum.
realised spiced rum's trash. What am I doing?
I love a spiced rum.
Oh, yeah, you're a trash baby.
I am a
Trash
trash
in
baby.
Queensland. Trash
am.
Hey, if anyone's a trash
I'm that
baby,
pig
it's
from
definitely me.
downstairs. I'm a party pig, just wanting my bum to be squished. No, don't give it context.
I
No
left-
context for anyone.
I left these two alone for maybe 10 minutes. Who knows what happened? Oh
I
my
think it's
goodness.
fun. A wholesome little conversation.
No, there was someone had a bike downstairs, and instead of like a bell, they had like a little pig that like oinked when you squished its bum, but it was
Ooh.
wearing like a tutu, and it looked cute.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
so
she
that's
came
you.
That's me.
You're
Yeah.
the dressed
The
up pig
little
ready to
party
party.
pig, all dressed up with nowhere to go.
Yeah, cute. No.
I was going to try and oink, but I'm like, no, that's going to be
No.
embarrassing.
I thought you were too. I'm all about it.
Yeah, we were just
No.
waiting,
No, it's
eagerly
not gonna happen.
anticipation.
No.
Okay,
Anticipation.
everyone do their oink. You ready?
All right.
Go on 3 though.
1,
You got to do it. Don't just leave me
2.
hanging.
3.
Okay. Okay, cute.
I want to do like you know they have the
Like a
pig
oink?
the pig calling competitions, or like wah!
Like a squealing pig.
I can't even do
Yeah,
it.
like
It's
the yodeling
wah!
competitions.
Humans are weird, aren't they? Humans are so
Whiny.
weird.
Actually, there was another
Anyway.
competition very recently that you were also just there, which was Frisk last night.
Oh, that was just there. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I don't know why I had to make a goldfish
No,
noise.
that was a lot.
I like that clapping with your lips.
Was that the same? I mean, you obviously weren't drinking.
She said clapping with your lips. I'm sorry.
That was just to fuck him up. Yeah. Anyway.
So you weren't drinking a lot of whiskey last
No,
night.
I was
though.
not. They
No,
had trash
well,
whiskey there, so no.
No. What did you think of Frisk last night?
Amazing. It was such a good show. Not just saying that because you were in it.
Love it.
Places questionable. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Look, you know what? Like, and I said this to you guys off air earlier, but I like as an entire show, it was so enjoyable to watch. Like the talent's fantastic, and it was so diverse with the styles of sexy, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like the lighting at that place, the venue is impeccable. And last year I
absolutely.
actually ran into some people I used to work with there, and I was like, oh my God, it's been like 10 years. What are you doing? They went, we bought the place. And I'm like, I'm so fucking happy. Like,
Do you
it's
know
so
Gareth?
nice. I do. Gareth and Cherie. Yeah.
That's so funny.
So I used to do like titty twister and stuff with them, and I used
No
to back when Red
way.
Benny's, before it was a club, it was a burlesque bar.
It
and I
was
used
a
to do
burlesque bar. Yeah.
a show
What?
there.
What? There's a whole
Yeah,
history
I have a
here.
whole
Yeah.
other life.
Yeah, Red Benny's was this incredible venue in
Yeah.
South Yarra, Prahran
Yeah.
area. And it
Chapel
was
Street.
it was like a club, but it also had a stage. That was where I think the Melbourne burlesque scene really kind of took off. That's like 13, 14 years ago.
I feel so old.
Where's
Same,
what,
yeah.
what? You said titty twister at some point in that? What's
Yeah,
that?
Yeah.
so Titty Twister is a show. They actually just brought it back. And one of my students, bless her, was like, Philly, I'm doing a performance. I was like, that's so good. What is it? She was like, oh, it's this old, like, sort of like music night that they're bringing back. Like, it was like dead and they're resurrecting it. It was from like a million years ago. It's called Titty Twister. And I was like, babe, that was my show. I was like, I used to ride my motorbike they had a Titty Twister just around the corner actually here on Smith Street.
No way.
Yeah, and I remember riding my shit bike, and I just started riding, so it was scared me shitless, off the street into the venue and across like onto the floor, and then did a little set. So yeah, it was really, really fun. I only ever just did like guest spots, but my show was not my show at all. There were far more other talented people there. But yeah, it was really good. It's kind of like a variety night. They used to have like Mexican wrestlers, and they used to have
Oh
like
my
burlesque
God.
shows
Yeah.
and pole skits and like like a live band, and it was so cool.
Oh.
Contortionists and stuff. It was so fun.
Amazing.
Really nice. Yeah, so it was called Titty Twister. But yeah, they used to do Trucked Up Entertainment was I think their business, or is their business. I'm not sure if they do it anymore. They used to have like an aerial rig and a pole on the back of a truck, and they used to do festivals and stuff. And Yeah. So it was really cool. But yeah, back in the day, that's where I met Danny Golding in that era. Me and Danny, for that show actually, that we did at Red Benny's, that Cherie created, was called Nude. And we did a double swinging Chinese pole act. That's how I knew him. Yeah, and then he moved to Sydney.
That's
Are you
wild.
about to cry? Sorry.
What, no, do I look like it?
Yeah, kind of. Are you being overwhelmed by all this history right now?
I'm that old. He's like, what do you mean?
I think we're all that old.
Wait,
Hello,
what's
yes.
I got shy when I was going to cry.
Oh, sorry, I won't directly ask you that
Are you
again.
going to cry? Is it about your haircut?
Savage.
Just so funny.
I
was like, I want a haircut, so thanks.
No,
That's
have you seen that thing?
destiny.
It's like if someone's crying, ask them if it's about their haircut.
That's so mean. I've got a hair in my face. Help me.
Because Danny
No.
trained at Nika, didn't he? He trained Chinese pole at Nika.
So I'm struggling with one bit of
I
hair.
just-
In my fucking face.
Get it out.
It's like Velcro, you know, when you get a fresh shave, it's like. Anyway, sorry. Yes.
So
What?
you did a doubles act with Danny
I did, yeah.
on flying Chinese pole?
Yeah, so it was a Chinese pole and
Yeah.
it was a swing pole. So it didn't touch the ground, it was tethered at the roof and
Yeah.
it would go like this and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. And that's why it was really interesting when like it got real trendy. Do you remember when like fly pole or
Yeah.
swinging pole got really trendy?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I've done that.
How did like? Did you just learn it with Danny, or like had you already trained it?
No,
before?
I'd done pole. It just isn't tethered to the.
And you're just like,
floor.
okay, I can just do it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Because I feel like the grip pump
What a flex.
because like the anchoring of it is quite different.
Yeah.
So like if you like push out for an Asia,
Yeah.
you obviously push the bottom of the pole away from you, and you're like, oh, the center of gravity is not.
I think
because
because we were doing doubles, we weren't really doing much of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely different. And because it was a Chinese pole, like it was
Yeah.
like this thick and wrapped. And so I was like, my skin.
Yeah.
Actually, funny story. I actually auditioned for Nika.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. It's actually really funny. So it was around the same time. Like I was, friends with lots of people that did that because we all performed. And
Yeah.
that's actually why I started doing competitions in the first place, because I really liked performing. And so I used to perform with bands and stuff. Got paid in a Souvlaki. I'm sure I've told you this before.
No.
The first ever gig I ever did. So I used to play with bands all the time. Like I
Like-
was in a band.
Oh, you were in a band.
Yeah, I was in a band.
I was like, you were pole
I was a
dancing in a
drummer.
band.
And then
You were drum. Okay.
when I found pole, I was like, I had all this like music scene, and I was like, oh, I could just dance. Like I'll set a pressure mounted pole up at the venue, and you play, and I'll just pole. And they were like, cool. So I did that with quite a few bands. Like I've danced at the Gershon Room in the Espy on a pole, and like
No way.
yeah, whole other world.
Souvlaki?
Yeah.
The first gig I ever did was with an old friend of mine. He was like a friend of my boyfriend or something. He had his own band. And I think it was the first one I did. I was like, yeah, I can set up a pole there. It was like on tail end of Lygon Street somewhere. The Kush, I don't know, somewhere. Whatever. Anyway, and halfway through the set, he was like, fuck yeah, this will be a great idea. I'm going to run at your pole. And I was like, no, don't run at the pole. He was like, I'm fucking running at the pole. I was like, Brett,
God.
don't you fucking run at the pole. Runs at the pole and he knocks the top out and half of the ceiling came with it. And we were like, heritage listed, place, shit. Anyway, whatever. It was fine. But the pole was like this. So I was like, cool, yeah, we'll just do the rest of the gig like that. Anyway, that was my very first gig dancing with bands because they were mates of mine, whatever, who cares. And at the end, I didn't actually get paid. They bought me a Souvlaki. And that was always my thing. Like I first paying gig I ever got, I was paid in a Souvlaki, so it's only up from here. And then I learned to
look at
hustle
where you are
better
now.
and low. There you go.
And here you are.
But yeah, so you got to start somewhere. That's
Absolutely.
the inspiration behind all that. Take the Souvlaki, ask for chips, put it in a meal value. You're worth it.
God.
Tips with Miss Philly for life.
Anyway, so yeah, so that's what I used to do. And then we used to all like, perform. And when Red Benny's closed down, they turned it into a club. But I think Gaz and, was it Eden? Oh my God, there were so many other people I don't remember from that time that set the club up. So there was like a cage that was suspended from the roof, the glass thing. So that would be a set. You do a set up there and just fuck about in there. There were a couple of poles and things, and they had dancers come in, and yeah. So it's a whole sort of like era of people that I knew from that sort of scene. But yeah, I auditioned for Nika around that time too, and I think because I was already very, very much into pole, they like people, I think, with a bit more blank slate, or that's just what people told me to make me feel better. I'm not sure. But I got to you do a performance, you do a solo.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They only had Chinese poles there. So the big fat, like 50 mil and like wrapped in black rubber.
Yeah.
Right. You weren't meant to wear clothes. I didn't know that. So I just went on with my little 2-piece and did like a whole show and then like.
Tore all of your skin off?
All my skin off, but I left all the skin on the pole, which you could see as well. And they were like mortified at the end. I was like, oh, thanks, guys. My DNA sample left forever. Good luck cleaning that, bye. And then I got to an interview, and I wish I could remember who these people were, but the guy, there was like 2 people doing the interview, and so-and-so went, oh, so have you heard of blah, blah, blah? And I was like, oh, yes, 100%, know him from blah, 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 name droppy, and he was that man there. And so I put my foot in it so much, and I was like, I'm just going to climb into a casket.
And you can just bury
Don't worry,
me out.
yeah, just shove me out the door. Don't worry about it. Bye, guys. And that was my audition, yeah.
How old were you then? Like early 20s.
35. No, I'm joking. Hold on. No.
She took a year off competing
would've
to
been right.
audition for Nika.
It was just one afternoon, calm down. I had shit to do. I don't know. 20, fucking 23, 2. Fuck, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
That's
a long
so-
time ago.
20 what? Oh, 23. Oh, your age, sorry. I think you're saying the year.
2023.
Yeah, I was like 2023.
No. Well, yeah, like
child.
whenever Danny, I can find out. But yeah,
Yeah.
whenever Danny was still living in Melbourne and whenever Red Benny's was still open.
Oh,
yeah.
it's such a chunk of history.
It really is. It's a
Yeah.
whole life.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there was a few other venues in the city that did Titty Twister as well,
Yeah.
something similar.
Yep, cool.
But I don't think they ever picked up as much as what Red Benny's did.
Yeah.
Like,
It was such a
Yeah.
great venue. But yeah, anyway. Now I just feel like a corpse now. So old. But yeah, it's been fun. But I've done a lot, which is really nice. I'm very proud of all that. And I have lots of stories. We do life for the stories, don't we?
yeah,
That's-
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So Northgate Theatre, you said it was a great venue.
Stunning venue. Yes, we're talking about Frisk.
Yeah, we were.
We don't have to
but
be.
like,
It's fine.
I thought it was really interesting walking around chatting to some of the competitors and hearing about what they thought about the venue. Obviously, us 3 have been to a lot of pole shows at a lot of different venues. We have competed in a lot of different venues. We know bits and pieces, and we've also all performed outside of
Yeah.
a competition. So nothing really phases me except for maybe stairs. And it was really interesting hearing some comments of going, oh, yeah, the stairs are like really difficult here, hey, at the Northgate Theatre. And I was like, you never encountered a particular venue in St Kilda. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they weren't the best. There were a lot of stairs, and they were quite
There was a lot
narrow.
of stairs. They were
In,
narrow.
like, I don't mind. I run up and down stairs in heels. I'm not fussed by it. I just, yeah. But no, I get it.
Yeah, it was. I thought that was very funny. I was like,
It's nice that they're
Yes.
attached to the building and not just freestanding
Yeah,
stairs. while-
or a
when you walk
ladder.
on them.
Yeah, not a ladder.
not a ladder.
Yeah, it's so funny. I'm really not picky with venues like that. I've been to some terrible venues.
Haven't we all?
But yeah, so I'm like, whatever. It's
I
undercover.
just like space to exist on stage and space to exist off stage.
Yeah, exactly.
The number of times I get somewhere and like, oh, we'll put your pole here in the corner. And it's like, okay, cool. So you want my pole touching the corner of the room? And how am I going to hold on to it? How am I going to rotate around it? You know that little PDF that I sent you with the photos of what it looks like to set up a fucking X stage
Oh, no.
and all of the measurements. And then you're like,
setting up
oh,
an
what if we
X
just put
stage.
you in the middle of the dinner table? Or what if we put you in the middle of the dance floor? And so is
That's
it right? Is the
Yeah.
pole going to be there all night?
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh, God, X stages. If I never have to set up an X, bless X-Pole, love them to death. But, like, wow. Because we're not burning bridges today. No, I'm joking. No, honestly, love them. But, God, an X stage. Like, because when I was playing in bands, I had a 2-door car. And I used to put my fucking drum kit in the back of that car and load in and out every time. And then I was like, oh, never want to do this again. Forgot about that and started doing pole. And I was like, it's fucking X stage in the back of my 2-door car. I was like, fuck this. Why couldn't I just be a singer?
It's a pain in the ass to set up, but for some reason I find the most I sweat whenever I do a gig is always packing up the pole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every single time. I'm like, I will be warming up in 30-degree heat in a shipping container and like get ready, do my performance, do all the stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. And then it's like, okay, now it's time to go and strike the pole. And I will be just
Then
dripping,
heat stroke.
Yeah.
sweating bullets, like fucking packing that thing up. And it's like, but I'm like, I need to just not sit down.
Yeah.
Because
You got to push through.
That's
Yeah.
it. Because
Just
as
go.
soon as I stop, I was like, oh, okay. That's what I do love about a burlesque lineup, though, is because there's something about burlesques that, like, they're admin heavy and they just get shit done. So, like, I did a gig once with a bunch of burlesque performers and I'm like, I'm just going to, like, I packed up the pole, I'm just going to leave it here. I'm going to go grab my car, bring it around the front to the loading zone. And I had 4 buxom burlesquers holding my 4 X stage pieces on the
bless.
gutter, waiting to load it into my car. And I was
Oh,
like,
the best kind of people.
just like, they get shit done.
that's
Like,
so nice.
it's, yeah.
They
Yeah.
really do. Yeah.
That's I was talking to because Ivana DeLune performed at Frisk
She
last
is
night.
stunning.
Very sexy, very yes.
Beautiful.
She does what she does very
She
well.
really does.
But I was talking to her because she got there for her tech run at like 5 p.m. or something, and then didn't perform until 10 p.m. So it was just like sitting there in full face, just like ready to go, just politely waiting all night.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, like, is it a bit of a long night for you? And she's not really. I'm like, oh, true. Like, burlesques are like, we tech at dawn. They're like, doors are at 7, arrive at the theatre at 5:01 a.m. And then, like, it's, if you, like, they're kind of the opposite end of the spectrum.
But
to,
what a
like,
great work ethic there.
pole, right?
I'm about it.
Like, I mean, applications are closing soon for burlesque comps that are in August. Like, it's, and then there's, it's, I love it because
Yeah.
you know what's going on. The fastest, actually, I'll shout out to Lila Lux, who was like, I was going to say matriarch of burlesque in Brisbane. The fastest invoice I've ever been paid was I sent an invoice, and I think within about 7 minutes the money was in my account.
Wow.
I was
Wow.
like,
That is
yeah.
getting shit done.
Not only was the money in my account, but I had the email back saying all paid, and I was like, she just like, yeah,
Gets
Yeah.
it done.
Ready to
Yeah.
Go.
I love
it's
that.
what I aspire to be and never will be.
We can have dreams.
Yeah,
You can have dreams.
I'll be like, sorry, your Souvlakis taking a little while.
With that, thanks again, Philly, for joining us for Storytime with Philly.
Thank you so much for having me.
Our pleasure.
Like, I
I
didn't
hope-
bully you into making me stay.
No.
We hope you enjoyed this bonus episode of The Whole 8 Inches. All the things, again, as per my previous email. And we'll see you next week. Thanks, Philly.
Yay, thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.